On August 8th, U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev at the White House. The outcome was a possible peace agreement, but also the announcement of a new corridor that will cut through Armenia, connecting Azerbaijan to the Nakhchivan territory and to Turkey. The route has been named the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity, in other words, TRIPP. And standing on that very land right now is my friend Jacob Pursley to help us gain a better understanding of the situation. And Jacob, let me know where are you standing? It is so beautiful where you are right now.
Nicole, good to see you again. And I'm coming to you from the Trump route. And I do have to say that the Trump route is on national Armenian land. So it's not being sold to America. It's not given to America. It's always going to remain Armenian in Armenia. So people have always been afraid, oh, where is that? So, but where am I? So what you're seeing behind me right now, this is the Trump route. And but the majority of the lands that you're seeing right now is actually Iran. And what's interesting is you see this river right here. That's the Araks River that separates Armenia and Armenia's here on the right hand side, and Iran's here is on the left hand side. And all of these mountains are in Iran. But the Trump route, which most people don't know, it borders right here on the Iranian road. So you can see the road right there, and it winds up and it goes to the east all the way till you get to Azerbaijan. It's about maybe 30 miles, 20 to 30-mile road. And but it's in a beautiful location, in the most strategic location for right now the world, for transportation, trade. I mean, all of China's trade, Nicole, is going to be coming through here from Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. This cuts out trade routes out of Russia. So this has become a really strategic road going east and west now. This trade route's going to go through Armenia, and this road again remains in Armenian sovereign hands. It doesn't belong to the Americans. It's just called the Trump route. And then from here to the left, we've got then they've got a new road. I don't know if we can see it from here. There's a new road being developed that nobody's talked about in Western news, and that's a north-south highway. And the people that are building the north-south highway are the Iranians. They're building 7 bridges, tunnels through mountains, so that they can take trades and goods from the Persian Gulf through Iran all the way through Armenia, and then that goes through Georgia and beyond. So this is literally the gateway and crossroads for 2 major international trade routes. And this will all be done probably within about 5 years.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is it possible that I saw the extension of that route from Iran up north of Yerevan already being worked on, like going toward Gyumri?
So, obviously that's going to be the road that they're going to be doing and using. But down here, the reason it's significant is because you have 8,000 to 9,000 feet mountains. And that right now the route to go over the mountains is very, very difficult. It's windy. Now they're building tunnels through the mountains, and it's going to be taking, this is the north-south highway, that it's going to take 3 to 4 hours off travel time for transportation goods, gas, oil from north to south. And then here we are where the Trump route is, the TRIPP, right? And that's going to bring a whole other trade route. And again, for rare earth minerals, gas, it just cuts off an entire section of you don't have to trade through Iran anymore, and you don't have to trade through Russia anymore. This is really good for the West and for Armenia. Armenia is going to profit.
That's great. I want to talk about that because I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand the geopolitics of that region. And so when this came up and when this was big, a big news, big announcement in August in the White House, it was like, oh, okay, but what? Why? So what are the geopolitical implications of this region? I mean, I live in Jerusalem, so I know that Israel has good relations with Azerbaijan, but not with Armenia. And then you've got Iran, which somehow has good relations with Armenia, but bad relations with Israel. You've got Turkey and Azerbaijan that don't have diplomatic ties with Armenia. Like, how does this then come into the picture? This road.
Well, the road helps Armenia first. If President Donald Trump did not broker a peace agreement, it would have been a matter of probably months before Azerbaijan would have invaded these lands. They had been threatening it for a number of years. They're saying we're going to take back this whole region. So I'm going to show you from over here a little bit more of Armenia. Right now we're just looking at Iran, right? But if you go to the right, this is all Armenia. So they call this in Azerbaijan the Zangezur area, and they said that is our land, that's our sovereign land. We want to take that. We're going to take it. We're going to take this road. If you don't give it to us, we're going to come in and we're going to invade and we're going to take it over. So when Donald Trump stepped in and brokered this deal, this is buying time for this province, unique province, to be able to at least not lose their land, their sovereign lands. The villagers here that I know in these regions don't have to be ethnically cleansed from their villages. And now we have the United States are willing to basically repair the road and open it up and make sure it's secure. So right now, Nicole, if I go just about 15 miles from here to the west on the Trump route, I run into a Russian military base. And the Russians are the ones that have been trying. They've at least been saying that they're trying to secure peace for the region. The problem is that Russia failed Armenia. They did not secure peace. They allowed this country to be invaded. They allowed the Azerbaijanis to shoot in at villages all throughout Armenia and take over and ethnically cleanse Armenian lands called Artsakh. So that's why Russia is no longer a factor here, and nobody really trusts them. So people are looking at the United States with a little trepidation. Will they actually do what they say? After Donald Trump, if after he's no longer president, will other presidents and administrations continue that peace agreement and for security? People are obviously concerned about that, and I understand that. But this at least gives a few years for Armenia, specifically the people that are here in this land, to have security, and then maybe Armenia can build itself up economically and diplomatically during this time. Why America is able to provide security in this region, and so then that means Azerbaijan will not be attacking, which is great news.
Right, exactly, and essentially because the U.S. road will be there, or
That's right.
the U.S. operated road will be there. Okay.
That's right.
And now you've spoken a lot how this is going to benefit Armenia economically. What currently is the economic situation in Armenia, and then also compared to Azerbaijan, which a country that really wanted this corridor?
Right. So Armenia has a lot to offer the world. They have first, it's the historic value and archaeological value, which most people don't care about, but I think it's important. It's the first Christian nation. There's the two apostles from Jesus's time were in this area. Actually, this land where I'm at right now, Thaddeus walked through these lands and did evangelism, literally where I'm pointing at. So an apostle walked along these lands. So there's some amazing value that it brings. But aside from that, it does have a lot of mines. So I'm in a mining community. We have major copper mine and molybdenum mines, which employs 6,000 people in the region. We have gold mines here. There's rare earth elements here. So Armenia, it does have a lot. Specifically, the Azerbaijanis want that. I mean, they want this area. They want a road corridor that connects Azerbaijan proper to their enclave, Nakhchivan, which is right there. But right over that mountain is the enclave of Nakhchivan. So what's separating the two is this road, and that's why they're going to get this Trump route. But it doesn't just benefit like Azerbaijan or Nakhchivan, it benefits Armenia. They're going to be getting tariffs. They're going to be getting billions of dollars is going to come here. Probably one of their major sources of income will come from here. But Armenia has been growing economically. It's more than any country in the region. The GDP is skyrocketing. People are coming here to invest from all over the world. So this country is now because it opened up to Western powers, because the Russians have lost their grip. This country now is able to develop for the first time, partner with European countries for business. And in fact, one of the other, they actually, the main reason I'm going to say this, Nicole, that we have had peace here for the since 20, I think it's now 2023, where there has not been shots fired into villages, is because the European Union sent an observation commission to observe the borders, and ever since that happened, a shot has not been fired. While the Russians were doing it, people were getting shot, and villages were being shot at every day. So it's the West, even though it has flaws, it has really done some good things to benefit this country.
And it looks like a very rural, remote region that you're in.
Yes.
How many people, how many residents live down there?
Yeah,
Armenian
that's a
residents on the
that's a
Armenian
great
side.
question. Yeah, we've got about 15 villages in two cities. It's specifically where the Trump route is. And I would say a total anywhere between 10,000 and 12,000 residents are down here. And we
Okay.
have two major cities. Well, I mean, major for Armenia. So like 5,000 and 5,000, Mehri and Agarak. And Mehri is just right over there. You can actually see the medical center. And Agarak is a little farther down the Trump route from here. Yeah.
Okay. And also, when this road, is it also open to citizens? Like, is there going to be border crossing between Armenia and Azerbaijan?
So, well, first off, I've had a lot of people say, Jacob, well, this is horrible for Armenia. Armenians can't use that road. I'm like, guys, like towards the end of the Trump route, and when you get to Azerbaijan, we have villages along the way. They always use the road. They're not cutting the road off to Armenians. This is Armenian lands, Armenian roads. It goes through their villages. So the Armenians can use the road. What I don't think anybody knows is, will there be Armenians allowed to cross into Azerbaijan and into Nakhchivan? I don't know that. Nobody's talked about that. I'm going to assume that will be a step that they will take, because back in the past, before 91, in 1998, look, there's a train that goes from Baku to Yerevan from here, that actually right underneath where I'm standing. I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually the
Yep.
railroad is right down there, and it goes all the way to Baku. So this was a hub for business, trade, transportation, and my friends that live here in this region. I've been down here now for 6 years. We own properties, right? So I've been here for a long time. We have a school, uh, and we actually have a church as well. But so I've been down here a long time talking to the people, and they said to me, we've always lived with them, and we've always wanted this road to open back. This was back starting in 2019. I've been having conversations with people, and they've never been opposed to reopening a road, because they said, well, we've always lived with them. So anyway, that's just a little anecdotal things that you can hear from some villagers from the region.
No, that's extremely interesting. So it's not always hostile. It's you have to. I mean, people who live it always have a different experience than what we read in the news, and that's why I'm talking to you right now, because you are in touch with the people and you're
So,
talking to
so
people there.
Yeah, let me say another interesting thing. People just don't know. Like I get hate all the time, Nicole, because I'm like I talk about how this administration, specifically Nikol Pashinyan in Armenia, has been helping the country. And I'll give you an example. So right now, this is something that people don't know, is that when you go into a grocery store down in Agarak or Mehri today, you're going to hear Azerbaijani language spoken everywhere here. Nobody knows that. Okay. So everybody's like, well, isn't that dangerous? I'm like, well, why don't you ask the people that are down here if it's dangerous or not? Because they've been living with them for a long time. So what you have, this whole part of Iran that you're looking at, do you see that truck over there?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
Iran. That's an Iranian road right there. All of this is Iran. This whole thing past the river. This is Azerbaijani Iran. These are Azeri speakers. There's 10, 20 million of them right over here. You can see one of their villages from here. They're all Azeri. Everybody over here is. And they come and cross the border. every single day. In fact, in Armenia, on any given day, there's probably about 2 to 3,000, maybe more Azeris in this country, and nobody knows that because it's just like, except for the people down here. They've also brought in about 300 workers from Iran to make the north-south highway, and they've there's old abandoned villages here in this region that nobody's been living in. What they did is they restructured and renovated all of the homes and the buildings, and now you can go to whole villages in this region that are Iranian villages, but they're actually Azerbaijani. So nobody knows this stuff. And what's interesting, the locals down here, a lot of them know Azerbaijani language. So they work with them, they trade with them, they talk with them, they interact with them, and more importantly, from our church, they share the gospel and tell them about Jesus.
Wow. Are they Azerbaijani from Azerbaijan or from northern
From
Iran?
Iran, from Iran.
From Iran. Okay, so they're not getting in from Azerbaijan to Armenia.
No, 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 no. They're
No, they're
they're
getting
coming
it
right,
from Iran.
they're coming right from here. Right, right, right.
Right, because Iran has a very large Azeri population.
About 20 million. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and what's the population of Azerbaijan?
It's around 10 million.
Okay, and Armenia is around 3 million?
That's right.
Okay, so yeah, we see the different. It's a very small country fighting to maintain its existence there.
It is.
That's so interesting. So you were when we were speaking the other day, you said that that the diaspora Armenian take on the situation is vastly different from the Armenians in Armenia.
Of course.
And explain that a little bit, because I mean, I don't even know. To be honest, Jacob, I don't know the situation.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking you.
Well, the thing is that I have a lot of really good friends in the diaspora, California, France, all over, and they have a fear for losing their country, and I understand that. I mean, they escaped the Armenian genocide, where they were being wiped out by Turks and Kurds, and they lost their lands. And then we've just lost Artsakh, which is only about 20 miles from here. And I do understand there is fear in their hearts. I get it. But when you're living here in this country and you've grown up here, you have a different take on things. Yes, you know about the genocide, of course. Your sons and daughters died in Artsakh. Your friends died in Artsakh. I mean, everybody lost somebody. I lost friends. I have friends that died. I mean, nobody's happy about that. Nobody's like, oh, that's great. But at the same time, what I noticed is that, haha, merci chat. So this is this is the owner of the property. He just gave me fresh figs. While we're
Nice.
doing the interview, it was nice of him to do that.
That's perfect, and all the
Anyway, so
more
I just got
reason
some.
to go down there.
I just got figs in the middle of the interview from a really nice Armenian man that owns the property I'm doing the interview here from. Anyway, he's a great guy, by the way. So where was I at? So what I see is that there is the reality of what can we actually do as the country of Armenia. Now, diasporans, if they're concerned about the country, I think they should move here. I think they should invest here. They should come to the Trump route. They should open up businesses. Don't let the Chinese open up the businesses. Don't let the Azeris open up the businesses. The diasporans come down. If they actually care and worried about sovereignty and who's taking care of what, then they need to be the people that come down here and actually live down here and with their blood, sweat, and tears die for this country and invest in this country. That would be my suggestion for them, instead of worrying, oh, America's taking over the road. Oh, we hate the name Trump. We hate Trump. You know, all these stupid peripheral things that actually don't matter. They need to come and actually do something about it. But when you talk to locals, you can see there's been hope ever since this country got out of Russian oppression. What I mean by that is not the Soviet Union, is that for the first time in history, in the history of Armenia, to be honest, when Nikol Pashinyan became prime minister, that was the first time there was free and fair elections in this country, where people were not being paid off to vote for people, and that the corruption began to little by little go away. And I've seen it. I started coming here in 2008. Now here we're in 2025. This country is skyrocketing economically. People are investing all over the country. You don't have to pay bribes anymore. They're getting. I mean, this country is developed not because of former administrations, but because of Nikol Pashinyan. Look, I'm not Armenian. I don't even vote, but I just looking at the good he's done for the country. And he makes mistakes. He's not perfect like any leader, but he's done better than anybody else. And then people are like, well, why aren't you talking about Artsakh? And I want to say this is that uh, uh, they are trying to get the hostages released from Baku. We have got Ruben Vartanyan. We've got some really
Mhm.
good people that are being held illegally by the dictatorship in Azerbaijan. I get that. And the problem is that Armenia, like you just noted, we have 3 million people. We have a not a very good technologically advanced military yet. We don't have oil money like Azerbaijan does, and we're surrounded by basically people that want to destroy us. So we don't have a lot of cards in our hand to play to say, "Oh, give us all these things back, and we demand this back, and give us the right to return back." At the first meeting of a peace agreement. So what I see Nikol Pashinyan doing is saying, "What Armenia do we have? Let's protect it. Let's strengthen it. Let's make great diplomatic ties. Let's strengthen what we have." And he doesn't say, "And then maybe later we'll take everything back." But uh, things happen in history. Who knows how things change diplomatically? A lot of things can change over the next few years. And Armenia has the first time in history to advance and to develop because it's not under Russian grip. Now the Russians are still trying to come in politically and take over and bring their politicians in and all that. What I mean is Russian-backed Armenians, and that would again stifle this country. I absolutely would take it back to the way it was before, and it would be worse off, actually. So we're in a time of Armenia that's unprecedented, and it's the best time for the country ever in its history, in my opinion. And if you talk to folks, everybody's hopeful for the future. They're like, yeah, we see the development, we see the growth. People are making plans, doing businesses. Things are different now.
Mm. Yeah, I hope you're right.
I do
It
too.
sounds amazing. Just to hear the potential that is down there. Also, I have to say, sitting here in Yerevan, it's a crossroads. Armenians have a very big diaspora, and to see Armenians from Syria and Lebanon able to meet Armenians from Israel, and from Jerusalem, and also have Jewish Armenians also find refuge here, like from other countries. Like it's an amazing crossroads, and I appreciate that it's happening here and what's happening down there. And I'm telling you, next time I'm coming with you down to that border.
Sounds great.
Very sorry to have missed it this time, but
Nicole, do you want me to just walk on the Trump route real quick? Do you want to just take a walk with me on the road?
yes, let me make sure your camera is enlarged and mine is smaller because
Yeah,
let's
I'm gonna
check
take you.
it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you right
Yeah.
on the road right now. Hold on. You'll have fun on this one. Ah, makes the truck. So, all right, can you see me now? All
Yes.
right, you see the sign there?
Yep. Can't
It
read
says
it, but what does it say?
Nefri. Okay. So
Okay.
right now, this is the Trump route we're walking on, and this is walking right to Azerbaijan. So I could walk to Azerbaijan from here. It would take me a while. It's about 30-mile walk, 30-mile walk.
Well,
And
it's a
this is
marathon. It's like running
yeah,
a marathon.
exactly. Tourists love to come down here, by the way. I mean, so this is the other part of the road. And
Okay.
tourists love to come down here. They love to bike. They love to motorcycle. They're hiking back. There's bike packers, backpackers. I don't know. We've got a French and a German guest right now. There's we got people from the Philippines, from America, Hawaii. I mean, all
Awesome.
kinds of stuff down here. It's not like this is this this is not this dangerous area. It's in fact, this is the place. I'm gonna Here, while we're talking, I'm going to walk across the road. Hopefully, I don't get hit.
Okay.
You see that flag right there? Here, we're in Armenia. Guys, this is going to remain Armenia. It's not anybody else's country. It will always there. And you can see the rest of the river there and how the road winds and goes through to Azerbaijan. But I
But
let me,
if a road already exists, what is this big deal about building one?
well,
What's the
no. They
difference then?
what they have to do is that. So if you keep going this way, the
Mhm.
road turns into like a dirt road, and so they're going to have to expand the road. It's going to take a lot
Okay.
of work. They're going to probably put 3 or 4 lanes in, probably four, and then they have a lot of work to do, especially more the farther east you go from here.
Is
But
it also going to be like secured, like so that people can't just exit the road, like an Azeri truck driver can't just get off the road and go into
sure,
Armenia?
sure, yeah. That's what I understand. I do want. That's what I've
Okay.
understood. I want to show you something else about the region that people might like. Right now, this is the land of pomegranates, and I'm going to show you something. Take a look at this.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
So they have pomegranates in the back. There are persimmons. So this is the area of Armenia where fruit is produced, the best fruit in the world, and they even have a white pomegranate that's sweet, and it's only found here in this region of
Oh
Armenia.
my gosh. Oh,
So
that's amazing.
it's a beautiful area. So if people watch it, come on down, come and visit, and thanks for taking the time to at least to talk about this, Nicole. Not a lot of people look. I actually don't know anybody talking about this yet. So
I know.
you're on the cutting edge of this to let people know about this and your viewers.
Yeah, obviously it's very big for me. It's big for you. It's dear to our hearts. But
Yes.
again, it's not something that is in the Western media. It's not something that's in the Western, day-to-day mindset to think of this region. This is, it's not, if anything, it's local or it's the Middle East, and nobody really
Right.
thinks about what's happening in the Caucasus. So,
Well, with Donald Trump's name on it, this is going to bring a lot more attention. So, and so, so I think we're going to hear a lot more in the news, and I hope people come to you for some of the information.
Thank you. And then they're going to head to you for the guest house down south.
Yeah, yeah,
So
welcome.
it's,
Yeah,
yeah,
if we got people working on the Trump road, come to our church too. You got Christians down here you can fellowship with. So you're
that's
not alone, and
amazing.
we've been down here for 6 years, so we know the people.
This is really amazing. I thank you so much for the tour. I mean, this was,
Absolutely.
it's not quite like me myself being there, but thank you for the information and thank you
Absolutely.
for letting us know. But
Yes.
all right, Jacob. Well, of course, we'll definitely be in touch as things develop. And thank you for your time, and thanks for that gorgeous backdrop that you're giving us right now.
Absolutely. I'm about to eat the figs that my friend just gave me.
That's awesome.
Great. Great seeing
All
you,
right,
Nicole.
Jacob. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you later.
All
All
right,
right. All right.
bye.